Dracula may be the most famous vampire novel ever written.
Since its publication in 1897, there have been many great additional vampire novels written about the genre. The one novel that has come closest to the original popularity of Dracula is Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire, published in 1976. As with most highly successful novels, it wouldn't be long until it got its very own theatrical adaptation. With its release in 1994, Interview with the Vampire would prove to become a true vampire cinematic classic.
Do you still want death? Or have you tasted it enough?
Starring Brad Pitt as Louis and Tom Cruise as Lestat, Interview with a Vampire tells the tale of Louis reciting his history of becoming and living as a vampire to an interviewer, played by Christian Slater. After Lestat turns Louis, we get to see how Louis copes with his newfound vampirism, and how to live with the carefree Lestat who turned him. Tom Cruise playing Lestat has to be my favorite role and performance of his. The man knows how to play a great antagonist, and plays Lestat very well.
Whiny coward of a vampire who prowls the night killing rats and poodles. You could have finished us both. You condemn me to hell. I don't know any hell.
Speaking of great performances, this movie also features the star-making role of Kirsten Dunst as the younger vampire Claudia.
I want some more.
Her scenes are some of the most compelling, and for such a young actress, she really owns the role. The greatest strength this movie has is with its incredible cast, and it also has Antonio Banderas playing the vampire Armand. The star power of this movie really sets it apart from other vampire movies. As mentioned before, the best scenes of this movie feature Lestat. I can't help but love his attitude of being a vampire, and how it contrasts with Louis'. While Louis feels mostly torture and depression of having to live forever as a cursed creature of the night, Lestat actually revels in it.
A release from the pain of living.
Oh, Louis. Still whining, Louis.
I always felt bummed when Lestat supposedly dies in the movie, because he was such a fun character to watch. You can't help but cheer when he shows back up at the very end in dramatic fashion and rides off into the night. Interview with the Vampire would eventually get a sequel with Lestat as the star 8 years later in Queen of the Damned, but with the role recast. It's a shame since Tom Cruise is what really made the role, and Queen of the Damned doesn't quite have the flair that Interview with the Vampire had. If you need just one reason to watch Interview with the Vampire, then it's for Tom Cruise's performance as Lestat.
He truly plays one of the most memorable characters in vampire cinema, and really makes this movie a must-watch for any vampire fan.
You thought you could have it all.
Oh, shut up, Louis.